Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wahak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Citations to you, Akim out there pushing this truth with sincerity, fearlessness, and honesty. And to you few Aqua that's in obedience to your husband and doing what's required of what the scriptures require them. Back at you with another lesson through the spirit. All right. You so-called black, so-called Native American, so-called Hispanics, all the true Hebrew Israelites. And if I forgot, double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And I'm noticing what's going on in the world right now. Well, what's going on domestically is a law will allow Issacharite and Native American brothers and sisters to come across the border within 48 or 24 hours, and it's a lot of uproar. They're sending troops over there and stuff like that, and talking about, they're in a panic, but this is their land, and it's going to cause an uproar in America. It's going to cause a lot of stuff because, people are scared. They're putting fear. They're fear-mongering stuff, and everything. And there's nation rise against nation. All right. And it's going down. I mean, it's hella stuff going on. All right. I'm gonna let you read we're gonna look at this stuff, look at a few videos, and we're gonna precepts.
control our entire southwest border, Jude said. He said the end of Title 42 will mark the time when cartels are going to be able to bring in all of their products such as fentanyl, the dangerous drugs, the criminal aliens, and the aliens from special interest countries. All of that is going to go up, and it's going to be Americans that are going to have to pay for it. .com, cartel will control the border after special rule expires in a matter of days. Talking about Title 42, Border Patrol Union President warns. Now, the National Border Patrol Council President, his name is Brandon Judd, here's what he actually told Just the News, and I'm quoting him here. Once Title 42 goes away, and the explosion happens, talking about the explosion of migrants at the border, they're going to control our entire southwest border, Jude.
US have just deployed 1,500 troops to the southern border, and Texas have mobilized their own tactical border force, which includes as many as 10,000 National Guard members, all in preparation for Title 42 to expire in just 48 hours. Footage shows huge lines of migrants already lining up in anticipation, while official figures show that in the last 72 hours alone, there have been more than 26,000 migrant apprehensions and 7,400 known gotaways. If you didn't know, Title 42, which has been in place for the last 3 and a bit years, is a public health act invoked by the Trump administration in 2020 and granted U.S. authorities emergency powers to stop the spread of diseases. So for the past few years, not only was the U.S. allowed to swiftly expel those attempting to cross the border, but under the policy, many migrants were blocked from requesting asylum at all. For perspective, Title 42 was used to expel more than 2 million people in just 1 year alone. But on the 11th of May, it expires, causing officials to brace for an influx of migrants attempting to cross the border illegally. Estimates are up to a staggering 13. US have just deployed 1,500 troops to the southern border, and Texas have mobilized.
All right, it says what one of the brothers put up on Instagram. These so-called illegal immigrants are Northern Kingdom Israelites, natives and Hispanics that was here before anybody. Nevertheless, this will cause major uproars in the streets of Babylon. And he's so right. All right, he is right. And let's get some precepts. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And with those people coming across the border, the Northern Kingdom coming across the border, they don't realize that it's going to be a lot of havoc because people are going to go up in arms. There's already craziness going on in Texas, you know. Of course, when I say people, it's going to be Edomites going up in arms. Going to be, you know, they're putting scary propaganda on the TV, making it seem like everybody is the cartel. Every it's a Issacharite or native is the cartel. You know, they're doing all this stuff. It's just causing chaos, and it's going to be chaos. It's going to get crazy because they're going to be migrated to many different places around here. All right, let's go to 2 Esdras chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, and this is going to be one of the sparks of the uproars in Sodom and Babylon, or this Babylon here. It's going to be the uproars. It's going to start here. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So Jacob's trouble is coming, you know. For like as all is made in the world hath a beginning, and the end is manifest. This is the end of Esau's kingdom, and it's happening, you know. This is what we're seeing, you know. Issachar trying to find hope over here, and it's nothing but a toilet going down the drain over here. And it's going to add to the chaos along with other things. All right. I got another article because not recently the Puerto Ricans had a protest because a lot of things are getting expensive in Puerto Rico. You know, they're gentrifying Puerto Rico. And the Puerto Ricans have a problem with that. The so-called Puerto Ricans, tribe of Ephraim, they're having a problem with that. So Northern Kingdom is finna start catching it as well. You know, May Day protest in Puerto Rico show an economy still on the brink. Protesters last week lamented shrunken pensions and displaced locals by foreign investors, and the challenges facing doctors and university students. San Juan, Puerto Rico, protest on May 1st, a long-held tradition for workers, have become a portrait of a precarious economy. You know, and this is all judgment. You know, they're getting judged too. This is going to cause an uproar as well, because our Puerto Rican brothers and sisters have not realized they're Israelites. They've been coons, Puerto Ricans, and thinking that they're trying to shun the darker skin and praying to the Catholic Church and all this stuff. So judgment is coming upon all of our brothers and sisters of Israel. Judgment is coming upon them. And this is the start. No longer are the annual demonstrations limited to public school teachers and other unionized workers demanding better pay and working conditions. Other residents come out now too. People fed up and frustrated that life on the island keeps getting a bit more expensive and difficult. Year after year, Puerto Rico has faced the economic malaise for almost 2 decades. Austerity measures imposed by an unelected fiscal oversight board created by Congress 7 years ago have chipped away as public pensions and other benefits. Also vexing are the island's frequent power blackouts. They've been having power blackouts. Foreign investors who buy property and displace local residents. Oh my goodness. So they can't even afford to live in Puerto Rico, their own place, in development projects and environmental sensitive land. There are so many reasons to protest, said Luz Elena Sanchez, 73, a former counselor of the University of Puerto Rico, which has faced steep budget cuts. Here is what a few of the 100 of Puerto Ricans who marched from the university into the local Department of Labor to the heart of San Juan's financial district on May Day last week had to say about just how tough life has gotten on the island. Acts 60 and 22 deaths. Mrs. Anaya Luna was seen several friends and neighbors evicted or pushed out of their homes by rising rent, prompted by a surge in foreign investors, meaning Edomite investors, buying or the other nations buying property in Puerto Rico to flip for profit or to use for short-term rentals. That they want is to turn the island to a tax haven, said Miss Anaya Luna, an artist and translator, for it to become a holiday and retirement place for white, wealthy Americans. Yeah, so this is affecting. They don't realize this shows we are the true Israelites. They are it's Ephraim. Issachar and Ephraim are gonna catch hell too. Miss Anaya Luna, who lived in a family-owned house in the Sanctuary's neighborhood of San Juan, said she had been seen a wave of displacement in her community and others across the island. The cost of living has gone up for local residents, while substantial tax benefits are granted to high net worth individuals who move to Puerto Rico and buy property. Such policies are making the island inhospitable to live in for someone who is not a millionaire, she said. Wow. After working for 26 years as a high school Spanish teacher, Mr. Santiago Rodriguez now lives with what he calls una pension de hambre, a starvation pension. His annual salary of $32,000 left him with a monthly pension of $1,228, or about $14,700 a year. That is not enough to cover the cost of food, rent, health insurance, and ever increasing utility bills, he said. I can barely pay for my health insurance, Mr. Santiago Rodriguez, who pays for supplemental private coverage because Medicare does not go far enough. I'm still healthy, but my diet isn't the best. He marched with fellow retirees from the Puerto Rican Department of Education to demand that the Fiscal Oversight Board managing the island finances increase pension to keep up with inflation. The board ordered several changes to the teachers' pension system, including raising the retirement age to 63 and eliminating the defined benefit retirement plan that guaranteed pension at 75% of teacher salary. What he said now, Mr. Santiago Rodriguez said, is just miserable. You know, and these are some of the Puerto Ricans, the Ephraimites that are fighting the power, right? Miss Riviera Sanchez, a 22-year-old senior at the University of Puerto Rico, said finding courses she can take, even in core subjects, has become more difficult each semester because budget cuts have limited the number of professors and sanctions available at the university. That makes it even harder to schedule time to work so that she can afford her studies. Recent tuition increases have forced her and Mr. Maldonado Rodriguez, who are both on the university's student council, to juggle coursework with paid jobs outside of school. Right now, we are not students who work, but workers who study, said Mrs. Riviera Sanchez, who was majoring in mathematics and working as a software engineer trainee. You know, and these people, I bet you these people, they need to repent, you know, because the judgment, the Lord is gonna judge everyone, man. You know, it's Israelites out there in Puerto Rico. Mr. Maldonado, street preaching, Rodriguez, a law student, said budget cuts have also limited students' access to housing. 2 of the 3 dormitories on the university main campus have been closed for over 5 years as real estate investors snapped up properties in the neighborhood. Fewer affordable rental apartments remain available to students. With something so basic at risk, you cannot have a proper university experience. Wow. Everybody's going through it. The curses. This is what's going to cause the uproar among the people. Dr. Rodriguez Garcia, a physicist with $200,000 in student loan debt, said he understood why Puerto Rican doctors leave the island to work in places where they can earn more. In these conditions, there is no way to practice medicine in a dignified way, Dr. Rodriguez Garcia said. All right. As of May 2022, the number of physicians practicing in Puerto Rico had dropped by about 9,500, or half the total since 2009. According to the Puerto Rico Department of Health, Dr. Rodriguez Torres, a 34-year-old internal medicine specialist, is known in Puerto Rico for using social media to protest insurance company policies that he say hurt patients' care. With doctors working so much, with them having to see so many patients a day, patients are dying, said Dr. Rodriguez Torres, who now works as a telemedicine doctor, seeing patients who live outside Puerto Rico. Dr. Rodriguez Garcia said he wanted to keep practicing on the island. She is hoping to offer psychiatric services without going through insurance companies. We want patients to donate what they can, she said, depending on their circumstance. So judgment is coming upon the Northern Kingdom hard. Issacharites coming this way, and it's going to be a lot of judgment. They're going to, it's going to be crazy, man. Everybody's being pushed out of the, forced to move about different places, man. And it was hard for me to find this. They're not letting people know what's going on. It was hard for me. I looked up protest in Puerto Rico, protest of Puerto Ricans, and they sent, it was like a 2022, but this is 2023. This is recent, you know what I'm saying? Puerto Rican, tribe of Ephraim and tribe of Issachar in the northern kingdom tribes are going to go through hell, man. All right. This stuff is really real. Okay. I'm gonna go hit Hosea for Ephraim. Because Ephraim has been wicked in Issachar. Issachar been hit with earthquakes and all that stuff, and they're finna get hit more, you know. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out the blood touch of blood. Therefore shall the land mourn. What's going on? And everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the fields and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. Yet let no man strive, nor reprove another. For this people as they that strive with the priest. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. And he was talking about Ephraim. As they were increased, so they sinned against me, therefore will I change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priests. I will punish them with their ways and reward them their doings. So it's a lot of pork eating. You know, Ephraim loved that pork. It's a lot of wickedness over there that's been happening with Ephraim, you know. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. My people ask counsel of their stock, and their staff declareth unto them. For the spirit of whoredom have caused them to err, and they have gone a whoring from under their God. I think there's a lot of Catholicness going on over there. They're worshiping the Esau and his paleness. You know, they're worshiping the so-called American dream and all this wickedness, man. They're sacrificing the idols in many ways. They sacrifice upon the tops of the mountains and burn incense upon the hills under oaks and poplars and elms, because the shadow thereof is good. Therefore your daughter shall commit whoredom, and your spouses shall commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom, nor your spouses when they commit adultery, for themselves are separated with whores, and they sacrifice with harlots. Therefore the people that doth not understand shall fall. And New York is full of the Puerto Rican women, you know, like Jocelyn Hernandez. Even though she, you know, that's a woman that's you know, on the harlotness, you know what I'm saying? And it's many more, you know, and this is what's going on. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up unto Bethaven, nor swear the Lord liveth. For Israel slideth back as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in a large place. Ephraim is joined to idols. Let him alone. Their drink is sore. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye. The wind have bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. So judgment is hitting them, man. The Lord is going to make sure that they get the wrath, along with Issacharites, along with Judah, along with all the 12 tribes, that the 2/3, all right? You know, and there's some brothers out there, you know, pushing, you know, some brothers out there that's pushing this truth, man. May the Lord have mercy on them brothers, all right? You know, and with that being said, I'm going to give all praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wachak, Wadash. That will honor to the elders of Great Millstone, brother Yaquab from the Champaign, Illinois camp. Shalom.